Welcome, everyone. My name is Adriana, and I come to you from Black Travelers International, and you have joined our 2027 Ghana and Nigeria info session. So, during this info session, we will go over several details such as highlights of our trip, as well as pricing, booking, and so much more. So, let's go ahead and get started. A little bit about Black Travelers International. We are a women-owned company specializing in group travel. Founded in 2021, we've been in over 25 destinations all over the world. We have people that join us in from Africa, from the US, the Caribbean, Asia, Europe, all over the globe, and they meet us in our destination countries. We are also licensed and insured. A little bit about Ghana and Nigeria. These are two countries in one unforgettable adventure. There you'll get rich heritage and a powerful cultural connection. You'll also indulge in luxury beachfront and boutique accommodations, as well as authentic food, fashion, art, and music. And within Black Travelers International, you get a small group travel experience with personalized service. So why Ghana and Nigeria? Here, through this tour, you'll walk through the history that lives within you. You'll rest the way that you deserve. You'll be able to capture unforgettable moments, and you'll arrive as a traveler and leave as family. And why travel with Black Travelers International? Our travel is centered around heritage. You'll get to experience professional tour hosts as well as private transportation, authentic cultural immersion, and our trips are designed with Black travelers in mind. Some of the reviews that we get from this trip is this wasn't just a vacation, this was a homecoming. One of our travelers also mentioned that this was the best trip ever. And another traveler mentioned that this trip exceeded their expectations. To read more of our reviews, you can head over to our website at blacktravelers.int.com, where we do have a list of some more of our reviews, as well as visiting Google as well. We'll be visiting Ghana and Nigeria November 11th, 2027 to November 22nd, 2027. Some of our highlights of this trip include a welcome reception and Black Travelers International dinner, which does begin on the first evening there. And that's where you'll get an evening of connection, celebration, and culture. We'll also visit the memorial park that's called the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, and there you'll explore the legacy of Ghana's founding father and Pan-African visionary. We'll also visit the W.E.B. Du Bois Center, where you'll connect with the history and impact of one of Africa's diaspora's greatest intellectuals. We'll also visit Cape Coast Castle, where you'll experience a powerful journey through ancestral history and remembrance. We'll also visit the Elmina Castle, where you'll visit one of West Africa's most significant historical landmarks. A few more of our highlights include an ancestral reflection ceremony, a visit to the Nikkei Art Gallery, which is one of Africa's largest collections of contemporary art. If you have never seen these pictures or videos, look online, and the images of just seeing them online are absolutely stunning. So this is something you definitely want to see in person. We'll also do a little bit of shopping at the Nikkei Arts and Craft Market, as well as exploring some local vendors where we shop for some fashion, beauty, jewelry, and artisan brands. We'll also visit and have an experience at the Badari Heritage Experience, where we'll learn stories of resilience, remembrance, and survival. And then on the last night, where we'll say farewell, we will have a farewell dinner that includes some entertainment and reflection. And then, of course, we'll make sure that we share numbers and bid our farewells before we leave the day in the morning after. We do have some optional excursions as well, which does include an Afrobeat night where we'll experience Lagos after dark with live Afrobeat music, dancing, and this will be at one of the city's vibrant nightlife venues. Another optional excursion is the Lagos Lagoon Sunset Cruise, where you'll cruise across Lagos Lagoon, and you'll enjoy some music, hors d'oeuvres, and spectacular views of the city skyline. We'll also have an optional excursion where, in addition to the Bagari Heritage Experience, the highlights include the Heritage Museum, which is a first-story building in Nigeria, as well as the Sariki Farimi Slave Museum and the Vake Te Slave Market and the Point of No Return. As far as arrival and departure, we'll arrive at the Kotoka International Airport. That airport code is ACC, and we'll be leaving from the Murtala Muhammad International Airport in Lagos. So when you're buying your flight, please make sure that you're flying into Ghana and out of Nigeria. Our accommodations include a 2-night hotel accommodations at the Alabadi Beach Hotel or similar, and that's in Accra. And then also at the Lemon Beach Resort or similar, and that's going to be 2 nights of accommodations in Cape Coast. And then when we head over to Nigeria, we will, after our first 4 nights, we'll also stay at the African Regent Hotel or similar in Accra. And then once we head to Lagos, we will stay at the Park Inn by Redison, Victoria Island or similar. And again, we will be starting our trip in Accra and ending in Lagos. So this is a 12-day trip. Again, we're starting in Accra. We'll head over to Cape Coast and Elmina. Then we'll head back to Accra and then over to Lagos. So we'll spend a total of 5 nights in Accra, 2 nights in Cape Coast and Elmina, and then 4 nights in Lagos. Please note that we travel by private transfer from region to region, and then we will fly from Accra to Lagos in Nigeria. We do have a tentative itinerary. Finalized itineraries will be delivered to our participants 30 to 60 days before our trip. So our tentative itinerary does include our day 1, where we arrive in Ghana, Akwaba, which is hello in their language. So you'll arrive at the Kotoka International Airport on day 1, and then that night we will once you're transferred to your hotel, you'll get some time to relax and before our black and gold welcome dinner. On day 2, we'll take an exploration around Accra, and that's where we'll visit Independence Square as well as the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park. On day 3, we'll journey to Cape Coast, and some of those highlights on that day will include the Essen Manso Heritage Site as well as some historical storytelling. On day 4, we will visit Cape Coast, the Cape Coast Castle, the Elmina Castle. Will have a historical tour on that day, as well as the Kekum National Park as well. On day 5 is a celebration of connection, and on that day, we will start the day off with our naming ceremony, the traditional Ghanaian naming ceremony, which you can see behind me. And that will include getting your Ghanaian name during the presentation. You'll also get a certificate, which you can bring home with you. And we'll have our cultural celebration during that ceremony before we return to Accra. On day 6, You'll be able to enjoy a leisure day. That'll be your free day in Accra. That's built into our itinerary where you can either spend the day relaxing. You can also enjoy some optional excursions as well, such as the Labadi Beach experience, an African fashion photo shoot, and you can also enjoy a spa and wellness experience. These are at an additional cost. These are optional excursions. And the prices for these will be provided as we get closer to the trip. On day 7, we will explore some more. And so before we continue on to Nigeria, we'll be able to do a little bit more as it pertains to our cultural trip, such as visiting the W.E.B. Du Bois Center. We'll do some shopping at the Art Center. We'll meet local artisans and local vendors, and then we will have an interactive Ghanaian cooking experience. So you can get firsthand how it is to cook and prepare some of Ghanaian cuisine. And then day 8, we will board our flight to Lagos. And there we will have a culinary welcome where we'll do a tasting there and we'll enjoy some Nigerian dishes. On day 9, we'll discover Lagos. We'll have our city tour on that day. That does include the Nikkei Art Gallery, Freedom Park, Victoria Island, and the Lakey Bridge. We do have the optional excursion that we discussed earlier, where that is the Lagos Afrobeat night. So you can start the day off with a cultural experience and end with a little bit of partying. Day 10 is our another more of our tour. Will take place with some shopping, visiting local artisans and vendors. We'll see some of the Nigerian fashion during this day because this day is packed into the style of Nigeria. We'll also have some culture built in as well with the Yoruba heritage experience with some cultural storytelling from our tour guide. And then we do have that optional excursion on that day where that is the Lagos Lagoon Sunset Cruise. Day 11 is where we celebrate West Africa. This is a free day that's packed into your day in Nigeria. You can do some relaxing by the pool. You can enjoy this day to just rest. Well, we do have an optional excursion, which is the Bajari Heritage Experience. And those highlights do include visiting the Heritage Museum, which is the first story building in Nigeria, the Slave Museum, Slave Market, and Point of No Return. Now, you also have the option if you want to just rest on this day, this is a free day for you, a free morning. And then on day 11, we will have, and that evening, we'll have our farewell dinner before we leave. And so that'll be on a rooftop at a beautiful restaurant overlooking the city skyline. And then on day 12, we will depart from the Lagos airport on our journey home. Make sure that you share phone numbers and ways to connect and stay connected to your sisterhood community. So let's talk about some of the things that are included and is not included. So what is included is the 11 nights hotel accommodation. So this is a 12-day tour, 11 nights. It does include a daily breakfast as well as our welcome dinner. It does also include the Flavors of Nigeria Culinary Museum welcome, and that'll be when we arrive in Nigeria and we have the chef-curated tasting. It does also include our farewell rooftop dinner, a guided Accra city tour, the Elmina and Cape Coast Castle admission, the Asin Manso Heritage Site, the traditional naming ceremony where you'll get your Ghanaian name. Your domestic flight from Accra to Lagos is included, as well as the tour for the Lagos City tour, when that is a guided tour, the Yoruba Heritage Experience, the Nigerian Fashion Experience, all of our airport transfers, and please make sure we make sure that we get your arrival and departure time so that we can arrange that. Private transportation to all of our tours are included. A dedicated Black Travelers International tour host will be with you every step of the way. Daily water and a English-speaking tour guide for all of our tours. What is not included are any of the meals that we did not mention: alcoholic beverages, personal expenses for souvenirs, any required COVID testing or immunization costs, any visa costs, traveler's insurance, gratuity, any costs for additional excursions that were not included in the package. So anything that were optional would be an additional cost. And then your international and domestic flights to and from your home country are not included. So this is a land-only package that does include the domestic flight between Accra and Lagos, but your flight to and from your home country is not included. So let's talk pricing. This trip does include a double and single occupancy. For double occupancy, it's $69.50 per person. For a single occupancy, it's $85.50 per person. Your deposit amount and final payment that is due is based on the payment plan that you select at checkout. We do provide payment plan options. So once you go to book, you can choose to book in full, or you can choose to select a payment plan. What's due today will be your deposit, and then your other payments after that would be until however many months you choose. So for example, if you choose a 8-month option, then you'll have your deposit and then 8 payments after that. Let's talk entry requirements. So entry requirements for Ghana includes a U.S. passport that's valid for 6 months past your return date and 1 blank visa page. It also includes a yellow fever vaccination. Malaria protection is not required, but it is highly encouraged. Visa is also required for U.S. passport holders to enter into Ghana. For non-U.S. citizens or travelers without a U.S. passport, please make sure that you consult your local embassy for their specific requirements. For Nigeria, you do need a U.S. passport that is valid for 6 months past your return date and 1 blank visa page. So you need a blank visa page for Nigeria as well as one for Ghana. They also do require the yellow fever vaccination as well as a visa. And again, if you are traveling outside of the U.S. to Nigeria or Ghana, please make sure that you check with your local embassy for their requirements for both Nigeria and Ghana. We have some FAQs. Can you travel alone? Absolutely. We have solo travelers, partners, girls trips. We welcome all to be able to travel with us. Do we offer roommate matching? Absolutely. So we do offer roommate matching for women only. And how our roommate matching works is you would complete your booking and you would select that you want double occupancy. I need a roommate. And we would pair you with other individuals, other women that are also looking for a roommate. We'll send over a form to see if you're compatible. And then you can also, if we don't have any other person that is looking for a double occupancy option, looking for a roommate, we also encourage you to visit our private community on Facebook to see if there's anyone else that's interested in going to Ghana and Nigeria, and you can be paired that way. Or if we don't have anyone at all that is looking for a roommate, then you would have to upgrade to a single occupancy. But we'll provide you with enough time to be able to prepare for that. Is this trip suitable for first-time visitors to Africa? Absolutely. This itinerary is thoughtfully designed for travelers just like yourself visiting Africa for the first time. Is it safe to travel to Ghana and Nigeria? Absolutely. Your safety and your comfort are our highest priorities. And again, you will have a Black Travelers host with you that'll be there every step of the way. Can men and or couples join? Yes, they can. Like I mentioned before, we have singles, couples. Do have men that travel with us as well. We welcome all to join our Black Travelers International trips. Is travel insurance required? Yes, and we can provide you with a list of vendors once you register. So on our website as well, we will have a list of those vendors through clickable links where you can just take a little bit of time to research to see which one will work best for you based on what you and people that's traveling with you are looking for. What is the activity level for this tour? It's moderate, so moderate walking. Is airfare included? So airfare is not included for international. So if you are traveling into Ghana and then out of Nigeria, that transportation is not included. Any international airfare is not. But the flight from Accra to Lagos is included. And then as far as what airport should you fly out of, when you're flying into Accra, you will use the airport code ACC. And then flying out of Lagos, you would use the code LOS. Those are the airport codes that you'll look for when you're typing it into your your airline of choice. How do you book your international flight? Great question. So you can use sites such as Skyscanner, Expedia, or any of those sites, or Google Flights as well, to assist you with booking those flights if you don't want to go directly through the airline. Are airport transfers included? Yes, they are. What is the weather like during this trip? So you can expect daytime temperatures to range between 75 to 88 degrees. What currency is used? So in Ghana, they use the Ghanaian CD, and then in Nigeria, the Nigerian Naira. What language is spoken? English is the official language in both Ghana and Nigeria, making communication very easy for travelers who speak English. What meals are included in this trip? We include daily breakfast, 3 dinners, and select lunches. Are there any optional excursions? Yes, there are. We do have a list of optional excursions, and we'll provide more information about those optional excursions, such as pricing and what days they fall on or what days you can take part in them as we get closer to the trip start date. Let's talk about how to book. So all of our booking can be completed directly on our website. There, you'll be able to see our travel waiver as well as our terms and conditions. Please note that our trips are non-refundable and non-transferable, and all participants are encouraged to purchase the cancel for any reason travel insurance to protect your investment. We do understand that life happens, and we want to make sure that your trip is protected. But this insurance must be purchased within just a few days of making your first deposit for the trip. Your payments will be automatically deducted based on the payment method that you indicate. So if you decide that you want 3 payments, it'll present you with the dates of when those 3 payments will be deducted. You'll be able to make partial payments at any time before the final payment is due. And you can also add on any optional excursions at any time after you book before the final payment is due. And like I mentioned before, finalized itineraries will be delivered 30 to 60 days before the trip begins. The main channel for communication with Black Travelers International is via email. So please make sure that you whitelist our email address and that we don't go into any spam folders, but any official updates, confirmation, trip details, pricing for those optional excursions, packing guidelines, Zoom call information, any additional information that we need you to know after you book will all be via email. So please make sure that you're staying up to date with your email and make sure that you're regularly checking your inbox. Again, those upcoming dates are November 11th, 2027 to November 22nd of 2027. Again, that is a 12-day trip, 11 nights. We do have a very special perk of Black Travelers International, which is our membership. And if you decide to join our membership, what you'll unlock is a travel savings of $300 off any one trip per calendar year. It does apply exclusively to future reservations like this one and cannot be applied to any past bookings. What that means is you want to become a member first. You'll get a promo code so that when you go to book your trip to Ghana and Nigeria, that you would apply that promo code at booking. You'll also have access to our private online community with exclusive content for our members only. You'll also get surprise travel boxes and welcome kits for our top tier members. You'll also have access to a referral bonus, which includes a $100 credit that can be used towards any future trip. So you can share Black Travelers International with anyone, your friends, family, associates, the person at your local Kroger, your local grocery store. And once they have successfully completed their booking and they have paid for their trip, you will get a $100 credit that you can use for a future trip. If that's not a perk, I don't know what is. You'll also have access to members only promos and for add-ons and options, as well as spotlight features for members and community newsletters, social media, and our travel blogs. It's so easy to become a member. It's $149 for the year. So you become a member, choose your next destination, and receive your credit, and then gear up because your adventure will begin. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing for just a moment. And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and unmute, or you can put your hand up there and on your screen as a reaction, and I will ask for you to unmute. And then if you have any questions that you want to put in the chat, you can go ahead and do so. Do we have anyone that has a question? Anyone have a question? And again, you can put your question in the chat if you would like. All right, while we wait for anyone that may have any questions, we're going to move on to move over to our website. And I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you just how easy it is to book this trip. For clarity, do we need one visa for Ghana and one visa for Nigeria? That is a great question. Tarsha, can you assist with that question in the chat, please? And I will go ahead and share my screen for our booking page. Perfect. Two different countries, so separate visas. If you're able to see my screen with the Black Travelers website, can you give me a thumbs up reaction or in the chat? Just want to make sure everyone's able to see. Can I get a thumbs up? All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Tanisha. Thank you, thank you. All right, so here is our website, blacktravelers.int.com. And I'm going to put that website in the chat so that you can visit it after the call. And once you're here, we'll go to group trips by year 2027 tours. You can also go by region, Africa tours. So let's go by region, Africa tours. And so here we have our Ghana and Nigeria, November 11th, 2027 to November 22nd, 2027. I'm going to click Learn More. So when you scroll here, you'll see the highlights that we mentioned on the call. as well as a detailed trip information document that's through a clickable PDF here. We also have some more trip details here, as well as pricing, what airport to go into, and some of the things that are not included. So our highlights include what is included, and then here are the list of things that are not included. It also mentions our payment plan options that are available, as well as roommate matching. You'll see some beautiful pictures of our past trips. Here are some FAQs if you have additional questions. And then here are those those entry requirements that we mentioned for both Ghana and Nigeria. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll be able to scroll now, this light blue button, and it'll open up in another tab. Here, it will give you the option to select single or double occupancy. If you do need a roommate, here's where you'll select double, I need to be matched, and then it will populate your cost. And then that's where we'll be able to keep an eye out on who actually needs a roommate. If you don't need a roommate to be matched, but you already have one, you'll select double, I have a roommate, and you'll put your roommate here. Now, if you do have a roommate, you will need two separate reservations, okay? Or, registrations. You'll need two separate registrations, and both of you will have to put double, I have a roommate with your roommate's name here, okay? Same thing if you're a couple, you'll purchase two of these registrations, and you'll put each of their names here. Here's the payment plan options that I mentioned. So if you select a single occupancy, you'll select the amount of payments that you have. Currently, you do have 14 payments available that you can make. If you select 14 payments of $496.41, you can select today is the amount that'll be owed is right here that'll be your deposit amount. And then every month up until August of next year, you'll pay $496.43. So the payments that are here does not include your deposits, okay? So if you select 5 payments, for example, you'll put down a deposit of $1,042.50, and then you'll do the monthly payments of 5 payments of $1,181.50. All right, and here, if you do want to book for, let's say, for a couple, you'll do that, okay? So you'll do 2 here. And then if you do have the roommate, you'll put your roommate's name here. So the registration will come through. For example, if I'm booking for me and my mom, I would put 2 registrations here, and then I would put my mother's name under roommate name, okay? Over here, you'll have the checkout information, and that's where you'll put the correct spelling of your first and last name. Please make sure that all of these details are spelled correctly. And then here you will select that you agree to our terms and conditions and our travel waiver. Please make sure that you review those in its entirety, both of those disclosures, and they are in clickable links in case you have any additional questions. And then once you put in your card information, you are fully booked. It is just that easy. Do we have any additional questions? Any additional questions? You can put it in the chat, or you can raise your hand if you would like to come off of mute. All right, it doesn't look like we have any questions. If you think of any questions, we do have our phone number at the top right-hand corner of our screen. That's this 188 number. And then at the very top of our page here, we have access to our email. So if you wanted to ask a question offline, you can send us an email at support@blacktravelersint.com. Or you can call us at this 1-888 number, and someone from our support team will be happy to assist. All right, if we don't have any other questions, oh, Tanisha says at the beginning of the presentation, it said 2027 and 2028, but this trip is only for 2027. So this presentation is for 2027, yes. So if you want to do our other trip for 2028, I will bring that one back up. Hold on one second for me. Great question. Hold on one moment. Hold on one moment for me. So 2027, this one is for just 2027. Our 2028 is not finalized as of yet. So we are still booking out 2028 calendar. We do have some trips already on our website. If you go to group tours at the top and scroll down to 2028 trips, it'll show you our Africa trips to 20 to for 2028. But as of right now, we're still finalizing details. Thank you, Tarsha. I was just getting ready to share my page again. Thank you. All right, wonderful. Well, if you do think of any additional questions, feel free to send us an email or give us a call on our support line. Again, that email is support@blacktravellersint.com, and I'll drop that in the chat. And we look forward to traveling with you for Ghana and Nigeria. We do have a upcoming info session, so we will see you then. But thank you guys so much for joining. You're most welcome, Tanisha. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.